Have you ever woken up feeling like your body aged 10 years overnight? One day you're bending, stretching, and moving with ease. The next, your knees creak like an old rocking chair and your back protests when you reach for your favorite coffee mug. My friend Harold used to say, getting old isn't for sissies, but here's the truth they don't tell you. Many of what we call normal signs of aging aren't normal at all. They're warning signs that your body is aging too fast. And the good news, you can actually do something about it. I'm not some young fitness guru who's never experienced stiff joints or forgotten where I put my keys 3 times before breakfast. Like you, I've lived through the golden age of vinyl records, witnessed man land on the moon, and survived the disco era, though my hips still protest when Staying Alive comes on. What I've discovered after 73 trips around the sun is this: aging well isn't about luck or genetics, it's about knowing what to watch for and how to respond. Today we're going to uncover 4 silent alarms your body sends when it's aging too quickly, things most doctors don't mention during your annual checkup. For instance, that afternoon slump you blame on a heavy lunch could be your mitochondria begging for help. That new difficulty opening jars might signal more than just weak hands. But here's what gets me excited. For each of these warning signs, there are simple, natural solutions that can help turn back your body's clock. I've seen it work for my friend Rosa, who at 82 still tends her rose garden without knee pads, and for George, who took up ballroom dancing at 78 after nearly resigning himself to a walker. The secret isn't some expensive supplement or punishing exercise routine. It's about understanding these 4 key areas and making small, sustainable changes. Let's start with the most common and most ignored early aging sign. That morning stiffness that makes you feel like the Tin Man before his oil can. You might think it's just part of getting older, but what if I told you that with just 2 simple changes to your evening routine, you could wake up moving more easily? And that's just the beginning. By the time we're done, you'll have a complete roadmap to not just slowing down aging, but actually reclaiming some of that vitality you thought was gone for good. Because here's what I believe at my age, or later. Years should be about living, not just surviving. And with the right knowledge, they absolutely can be. Let's talk about that morning stiffness, the kind that makes you feel like you need a running start just to get out of bed. If you've ever groaned while standing up from your favorite armchair or hesitated before bending down to pet the dog, you're not alone. But here's what most people don't realize. This isn't just what happens when you get older. It's often your body's way of telling you that inflammation has been quietly building up overnight, stiffening your joints like rusty hinges. Now, I remember my neighbor Linda, sharp as a tack at 78, telling me she just accepted her stiff knees as part of life until her granddaughter asked why she winced every time she stood up. That's when it hit her. This wasn't normal aging, it was her body begging for help. The good news? You don't have to live with it. Simple, natural changes can make a world of difference. First, let's talk hydration. And no, I don't just mean drinking more water, though that helps. Your joints need lubrication, and that starts with what you eat. Omega-3s, found in foods like walnuts and fatty fish, act like natural WD-40 for your joints. My friend Carlos swears by his nightly tablespoon of ground flaxseed in yogurt. Within weeks, he was getting out of his car without that familiar oof sound. Second, movement is medicine, but not the kind that leaves you sore for days. Gentle range of motion exercises before bed and upon waking can work wonders. Picture this. Instead of stiffly rolling out of bed, you spend 2 minutes doing slow ankle circles and wrist rotations under the covers. It sounds too simple to work, but trust me, it's like giving your joints a wake-up call before you even stand up. Now, the second big sign of accelerated aging is something we often joke about, but rarely take seriously: the dreaded senior moments. You walk into a room and forget why, or blank on a name you've known for years. While occasional forgetfulness is normal, frequent mental fog could signal your brain isn't getting what it needs. Here's the eye-opener. Your brain shrinks about 5% per decade after 40, but research shows this process can be dramatically slowed. Take my book club buddy Evelyn. She started incorporating just 2 brain-boosting foods daily, blueberries and dark leafy greens. And noticed she stopped losing her train of thought mid-sentence. The key? Flavonoids in these foods protect brain, cells, and even help grow new connections. And don't underestimate the power of novelty. Learning one new thing daily, whether it's a word in another language or how to use emojis. Yes, really. Meme forces your brain to create fresh pathways. Remember when we had to memorize phone numbers? Our brains thrived on that kind of challenge. The bottom line is this: what we often dismiss as inevitable aging is frequently just unmet needs. Your joints crying out for better lubrication, your brain hungry for the right nutrients and stimulation. And the beautiful part, addressing these doesn't require drastic overhauls, just small, consistent tweaks to how you care for your remarkable body. Because here's what I've learned after 7 decades. Aging isn't about loss. It's about learning to listen and respond with wisdom. And speaking of wisdom, wait until you hear about the third sign. It's one most people miss completely, until it's quietly affecting their quality of life. Now let's talk about the third sign of accelerated aging, one that sneaks up so quietly most people don't notice until it's already affecting their daily life, losing your get up and go. I'm not talking about needing an extra cup of coffee in the afternoon. I mean that deep fatigue where ordinary activities like folding laundry or walking through the grocery store leave you drained. My old college roommate James used to be the first one on the dance floor at weddings. Now at 72, he's often ready for a nap by lunchtime. Here's the crucial insight. While some energy decline is normal with age, feeling chronically exhausted isn't. It's often your mitochondria, those little energy factories in your cells slowing down before their time. The game changer? Supporting your cellular energy production doesn't require stimulants or extreme measures. It's about strategic nourishment. First, let's bust a myth. Iron isn't the only mineral that matters for energy. Magnesium, which nearly half of seniors don't get enough of, is crucial for converting food into energy, and a simple handful of pumpkin seeds or a square of dark chocolate daily can make a noticeable difference. Then there's CoQ10, a compound your body produces less of after 50. Adding foods like sardines or spinach helps recharge your cellular batteries naturally. But here's what really moved the needle for my friend Anita: timing her walks. She started taking a 10-minute stroll about 30 minutes after meals. Not only did this help her digestion, but her afternoon energy slumps disappeared because movement helps shuttle glucose into cells more efficiently. Now, before we dive into the fourth sign, I want to pause and ask, has this been helpful so far? If you're nodding along, imagining how these changes could help you or someone you love, then do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Why? Because every Thursday, I share more of these life-tested strategies that aren't about adding years to your life, but life to your years. We're building a community of vibrant seniors, proving that our later decades can be our richest. And when you subscribe, you'll never miss these practical insights. Plus, next week I'm sharing my 5-ingredient energy-boosting smoothie recipe that my Tai Chi group swears by. One member just emailed saying it helped her finally take that grandkids to Disney trip she'd been putting off. Now, the fourth sign might surprise you because it's not about what you feel, it's about what you don't feel anymore. I'm talking about losing your sense of wonder. When sunsets don't take your breath away like they used to, or you stop noticing the first spring flowers. Research shows this emotional flatness often correlates with accelerated biological aging. My late friend Miriam, who lived vibrantly until 94, called this her soul barometer. When she stopped feeling little joys, she knew it was time to shake things up. The solution isn't complicated. Novelty rewires aging brains. Try eating with your non-dominant hand, taking a different route to the pharmacy, or even rearranging your living room furniture. These small disruptions trigger dopamine, the aliveness neurotransmitter. And here's a powerful trick. Keep a wonder journal by your bedside. Each night, jot down one beautiful or interesting thing you noticed that day. Maybe how the light hit your teacup just so, or the way your neighbor's laugh echoes down the street. This simple practice trains your brain to stay engaged with life's textures, and engagement is the enemy of premature aging. What we're really talking about here is the difference between existing and living, because true health isn't just about your joints or memory. It's about that spark that makes you feel truly awake in your own life. Now let's connect these dots in a way you probably haven't heard before, because the real secret to reversing rapid aging isn't just addressing these 4 signs individually, but understanding how they work together like a symphony. Take my friend Raymond, a retired mechanic who came to me complaining about all 4 issues: stiffness, forgetfulness, low energy, and what he called the blahs. When he started tackling just one area, his joint mobility, something fascinating happened. As his morning stretches became easier, he had more energy to walk to the local diner. Those walks led to chatting with neighbors, which lifted his mood. And when his mood improved, he suddenly remembered the accordion collecting dust in his closet. Playing it again became his new brain exercise. This is what I call the vitality cascade effect. When you improve one aspect of aging, well, it naturally uplifts the others. But here's the advanced insight most miss. Your body's aging speed is profoundly influenced by something you can't see or touch: your beliefs about aging itself. Harvard researchers found that people with positive views of aging live 7.4 years longer on average than those who buy into negative stereotypes. Let that sink in. Just changing how you think about getting older can add quality years to your life. I witnessed this with my sister-in-law, Yvonne, who used to joke about being over the hill at 60. When she shifted her language to celebrating her wisdom years instead, something remarkable happened. She stood taller, moved more confidently, and even her arthritis seemed less bothersome. This isn't magical thinking, it's science. When you expect decline, your body often obliges. When you anticipate continued growth, your physiology responds accordingly. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room: adapting these strategies. If you're dealing with chronic conditions, maybe you're thinking, this sounds great, but I've got diabetes, heart issues, mobility challenges. Here's the beautiful truth. These principles still apply, they just need tailoring. My bowling buddy, Luis, manages Parkinson's with a brilliant approach. He calls it modified thriving. On days when his hands shake too much for detailed woodworking, he switches to larger-scale projects. When fatigue hits, he breaks his walks into 3 shorter sessions instead of 1 long one. The key is what I call flexible persistence, staying committed to movement, nourishment, and engagement while being willing to adapt the how. This brings me to perhaps the most overlooked anti-aging tool of all, your breath. Not just breathing, but how you breathe. Shallow, stressed breathing, common when we're in pain or anxious, actually accelerates cellular aging by keeping your body in fight or flight mode. Try this right now. Place one hand on your belly and inhale deeply through your nose for 4 counts, feeling your hand rise, then exhale for 6 counts. Do this just 3 times. Notice any shift? My friend Nora, who copes with chronic pain, does this reset breath every time she checks her watch, creating dozens of mini renewals throughout her day. These strategies work because they honor a fundamental truth. Aging well isn't about denying the passage of time, but about cooperating with your body's changing needs while still challenging it to grow. It's the delicate balance between acceptance and aspiration, between being kind to yourself when you need rest and courageous enough to try new things when opportunity knocks. Because here's what they don't tell you about getting older. The years may change your body's capabilities, but they needn't diminish your capacity for joy, connection, and discovery if you know how to nurture it. So here we are, my friend, at the heart of what truly matters, how to take all these insights and weave them into the rich tapestry of your daily life. Because knowledge alone won't turn back your body's clock, it's the small, consistent actions that create real change. Think of my old friend Manny, who at 81 transformed from feeling over the hill to being the most vibrant guy at our community center, not by making drastic overnight changes, but by implementing what he called his daily dozen, 12 tiny habits spread throughout his day that together created a revolution. His secret: he didn't try to do everything at once. He started with just 2 changes, adding flaxseed to his morning oatmeal and doing 3 minutes of gentle stretches while waiting for his coffee to brew. Within weeks, those small wins gave him the confidence to add more. That's the approach I want you to take, not overwhelming yourself, but choosing 1 or 2 areas from our 4 signs that resonate most, and starting there. Maybe it's drinking more water throughout the day to help with stiffness, or keeping a wonder journal by your bedside to reconnect with life's simple joys. Remember Rosa from earlier, the 82-year-old who tends her roses with such vitality? Her secret weapon wasn't some expensive supplement. It was consistency. She told me, it's not about being perfect every day, but about showing up for yourself in small ways, day after day. That's the golden key. These strategies work through accumulation, not overnight miracles. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these 4 signs spoke to you most? Was it the morning stiffness, the mental fog, the energy slumps, or that subtle loss of wonder? Drop a comment below sharing which area you're committing to focus on first. Your words might inspire someone else on this journey, and if this conversation has sparked even one aha moment for you, do us both a favor, hit that like button. It helps others find this life-changing information, and subscribe if you haven't already. Why? Because next week I'm sharing something truly special, my Golden Year Revival Routine, a simple 10-minute daily practice combining the most powerful anti-aging strategies we've discussed into one seamless flow. It's the same routine that helped me go from needing help getting up from low chairs to teaching my great-granddaughter how to do cartwheels in the backyard. That's the power of understanding how to work with your body rather than against it as you age. Before I let you go, I want to leave you with this thought. Aging isn't the enemy. Disengagement is. Every wrinkle on your face tells a story. Every silver hair represents wisdom earned. Our goal isn't to erase these marks of living, but to ensure they don't prevent us from continuing to live fully. You've already taken the most important step, caring enough to seek out this knowledge. Now, go put just one small piece into practice today, and watch how that single thread can begin weaving a whole new tapestry of vitality. From my heart to yours, here's to your next chapter being your brightest yet. Now go show the world what 60, 70, 80, and beyond can really look like. I'll be right here cheering you on every step of the way.